Amorim has said that Manchester United need to survive this Arsenal game and prepare ourselves properly for Real Sociedad at Old Trafford on Thursday. And he's not wrong. This game on Sunday is not the priority for United, and changes will be needed to try and keep the team fresh because they look fatigued in the last 20 against Sociedad. What role will Chido play against the club he left to join United? Let's run through the team news and the starting 11 and my prediction for United against Arsenal. United against Arsenal on Sunday. It's a big game, but it's not the biggest game that we've got this week or next week. Sociedad either side of Arsenal, that's United's focus. So how do we get through this game? As Amorim said, how do we survive this game on Sunday? Keep our team fresh, avoid injuries, and make our team as strong as possible for that return leg at Old Trafford on Thursday. I'm going to run through the team news, the changes I think we should be making. We'll speak about Chido. We'll speak about Heaven, Garnacho, Xerxes, and you can let me know your predictions in the comments below. But ahead of the game, Amorim was speaking about his team news more across the course of this season and what we could expect. And he was saying, look, you might get Ahmad back for the final. Mate, imagine that. If we get to the final and Bilbao, Ahmad's there, pops up with a winner. I need that. But Ahmad might be back for the last month of the season. Lissandro's out. Kobbie's going to return at some point. Maguire will be back, and so will Ugarte. We don't know when. All right? And it's a big question. Will Ugarte be fit for this game? We'll find out. Anyway, Amorim was asked about Chido directly, and I'll speak about Chido a little bit later because I know it's going to be one of the biggest talking points. Will Chido start against Arsenal? He's saying, look, of course he can start. Everybody can start, right? In terms of those players. Now, this here. Was this the team? This was the team that faced Sociedad, wasn't it? I believe so. There's going to be some changes, of course. One enforced change is Dorgu is suspended. All right. Who comes in at left wing back is going to be the big question. No, actually, right wing back. The wing backs are the problem inside this squad. There's problems all over the shop. But the real problem, I think, are the wing backs. Now, two players who I think have been playing well. And Yoro, man, Yoro had a tough start at United. He got that injury. He was out for 3 months. Everything was delayed. But if you want to look at a positive of that, he missed all the madness and the maelstrom of Ten Hag and Ten Hag being sacked and wasn't really part of that. These last few games, 2-3 games in a row, better than the game before. Growing in confidence. I'm looking forward to seeing Yoro in this game, and he absolutely starts, and so does De Ligt. But it depends what Amorim does at wing-back. What do you think he will do, all right? The logical part of me probably says he's just going to stick Mazraoui out at left wing-back, keep Dalot as the right wing-back, and probably bring in Lindelof as the right-sided centre-back. Now, of course, he could do this, right? You could see Lindelof stay on the bench. You could see Yoro come across to the right side of centre-back, and you could see Heaven brought in, who is one of our new signings. But I'm going to apply this logic to both Heaven and Chido. I don't think either of them will start against Arsenal. And it's not because he doesn't feel that they're ready, because, quote unquote, you said there, everyone's ready. Right? If they're able to play, they're ready. But I think when it comes to Heaven and Chido starting against Arsenal, I think it would be a protection thing from an online perspective. This might be a strange thing to say. But if either of them did anything wrong in that game, they would get hammered and trolled by Arsenal fans, left, right, and centre, who would lap it up and go triple hard on them because they left Arsenal for United. So I think in that sense, he'll protect them from the starting 11. Thought Heaven actually looked quite... Was it Fulham in the Cup where he made his debut? I think it was. I think we'll see that as our back five. And De Ligt, I think, has quietly been a bit of a leader. As far as a leader can go when you're 14th, 15th, I know. But I actually think it's been pretty decent. In midfield, though, will you see Bruno and Ugarte? Given that Sociedad is a bigger game, if there's going to be a game where he does risk bringing Ugarte or Manu back, I think it's probably going to be there. So probably, it's the same thing as I said for Sociedad. It's a toss-up between the experience of Casemiro or the energy of Collier. And I'd have to be honest, I thought Casemiro played pretty well against Sociedad, given there wasn't too much attacking threat. And given, if I was going to say any place where Sociedad offered a threat, it was when they drove past Bruno and Casemiro in midfield and kind of ran out our centre-backs. Arsenal will do that, but Arsenal will use the wings a lot more. Central progression, Odegaard's going to be dangerous, Rice is going to be dangerous, of course they are. But the bottlers, so they probably won't be that dangerous. I think you'll probably see Ugarte kept on the bench and Ugarte not risked. And if you're going to risk him, you risk him to start against Sociedad. I think that's kind of what Amorim's really said there. He's got to survive, and he's not really going to survive on Sunday by bringing players in who might or might not be fit. It's not ideal, all right? We're kind of scraping the barrel here. And the same kind of logic applies when you look up front. And all the conversation is going to be around... Not all the conversation, right? That's stupid. There's a 17-year-old lad who's not made a start for Manchester United. The whole conversation can't be around him. But part of it definitely will. Højlund, again, didn't score against Sociedad. Well, we all know what went on with Dalot there. I don't really need to speak about Dalot anymore. I know what Dalot is. I know what he can do as a player. I know his technical deficiencies. And I know he just won't, I don't think, ever suit this system. I think Dalot will be here until the summer. I think if a big comes in and United can move Dalot on, I think they would, but we'll find out about that. As for Chido starting, I apply the same logic as to why I don't think he'll start Heaven. But I do think we'll see Chido get a good portion of this game. The one player, if I'm going to be thinking about Thursday, the one player that I'm going to rest is Xerxes. I think Xerxes has been impacting games far more in these last few games than he was in the earlier games. And I would simply just bring Eriksen in and play him further forward. I keep Garnacho in. Garnacho, I say this every single game, Garnacho against Arsenal, he will get himself into goal-scoring positions. He will get 1, 2, maybe 3 goal-scoring opportunities. And it's up to Garnacho to find that conversion, man. Like, a hard part is creating their goal-scoring opportunities. Garnacho's very good at that. Finishing, though, he's awful this season. Garnacho stays in this starting 11. We need that direct threat. And you can probably expose Arsenal with that as well. Eriksen in for Xerxes. I mean, who else could you play there, really? I've got Scanlon and Morehouse down there. They could potentially go on the bench. They weren't on the bench for the Europa League. And Højlund, look. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Amorim will see that Chido can handle the pressure of playing against Arsenal, because for him, he'll be G'd up. And he wasn't involved in the FA Youth Cup game that was at the Emirates because he was kept in with the first team. And of course, he played like 60 minutes against Fulham in the FA Cup. So, I mean, that was a vindicated decision. Oh, it wasn't vindicated because we lost, but I don't think that Chido's first start for Manchester United will come against the club that we signed him from. That's just a prediction. I think he'll get on probably early in the second half, but we'll see. That's my starting 11. It's a weak team. It's Arsenal. They're a good team, but it's the sort of game that United go and win. Really and truly, probably is. Sod it. Going for a 2-1 win. How about it? Starting 11. Concerns? Well, you know exactly what my concerns are. If Lindelof and Dalot start on that right-hand side with Casemiro and Eriksen. Stangy. Look, I'm going for a 2-1. It's not a game where Amorim is going to try and take too many risks. He wants to survive it. His words, not mine. Let me know your predictions in the comments. I'm going for a 2-1. We'll see you on Sunday.